Welcome to Office Hours by Triple X Church. I'm your host, Carl Thomas. I'm a pastor, certified neurohealth coach, and a guy who frankly struggled with a lot of stuff we talk about here for over 20 years until I found freedom about a decade ago. In today's episode, I am going to be jumping in and answering this question. How do you stop your addiction when you've tried to get other people involved? That's what I will be discussing today, so make sure you hang in there with me. Recognize that no questions are ever off the table, and I'm going to be as honest with my answers as I possibly can be, so don't get offended. Without any further delay, let's jump in. Okay, so this question came into our office hours page. This person wrote, how do you stop your addiction when you've tried to get other people involved? What is the best way to stop? So, we've answered this question, this how do I stop? How do I beat this addiction? Many times over the past, I don't know, however long we've been doing these office hours. But I wanted to answer this one because he brings up this idea of how do you stop when I get other people involved? And I think that's an important thing to address because, to be honest, that is the component usually missing with most individuals when they try recovery. They don't want to get other people involved. They want to do it on their own. So they buy books, they do courses, maybe they do counseling, which is good, but they never get other people involved. They never have a support community around them. And so, well, most of the time, if not all the time, usually their efforts never lead anywhere positive. So the first thing I would say to you is this: keep other people involved. That is key. Okay. Even if you're not seeing success right now, you need to have other people involved. You need to have a support community. That's why we have places like the Live Free community. That's why we offer resources like small groups online, because we know the power of support. We know the power of community. It is so important when it comes to this whole thing of recovery, especially with porn addiction, because most of the time, if not all the time, the reason we struggle with this stuff is because of issues with lack of connection, lack of love, lack of acceptance, shame, all these things that basically reinforce this idea that we're not worthy of other people's love or attention or affirmation. And so when you have that community in your life, it helps kind of break those harmful or toxic thought patterns that we've grown up with. That being said, if you already have those support communities, maybe you've been in support groups, maybe you are part of the Live Free community, I don't know, and you're still not seeing success, then I would say the problem probably lies in the fact that you're still not really attacking the issue. So, you deal with porn or masturbation or whatever, it's still a problem. You're trying to quit by white knuckling your way there. Okay, if I just don't look. And then you're leaning on your community to just basically confess every time you blow it. And if that's the way you're leveraging the community in your life, it's not going to be helpful. All right. You need to get to the root of what you're dealing with. And again, the root of what you're dealing with is emotional, it's spiritual, it's all these deeper things. So you probably need to seek out a counselor. Maybe you do need to go buy a good book, like Jay Stringer's Unwanted is a good one. There's several other books. I'll leave some links below. Maybe you need to do a course like X3 Pure. Okay, but chances are you're just missing out on that element of what is this addiction about anyway? Because I would say a great majority of the time when we have new members come into our communities, they come in with a lot of misconceptions about, well, what is porn addiction even about? They think it's just a behavior issue. It's something that should just be easily controlled. It's about my lack of impulse control versus real emotional damage and pain that you're dealing with. And so if you're just approaching your addiction as, well, I just need to stop doing it mentality, you're going to struggle, right? You need to get to the deeper matters. And like I said, those things, courses, books, especially counseling, they can all help you tremendously. So lean into that, but don't forsake the community. The community is a big part of all of this. If you have any questions for me that you want answered in an upcoming office hours episode, please go to xxxchurch.com/office-hours, submit your question there, and I will be sure to answer it in the near future. That's about it for today. Have a great weekend.